Welcome and hello, my name is Ayana Lahi and I am so happy that you are here. In today's Light Mastery Academy, we are diving into transforming masculine and feminine anger. Anger is your life force that has erupted, that is calling your attention. It's calling the whole world's attention. It wants to be recognized. Your anger is needing to be seen, heard, and received. Unless you receive your own inner voice, the presence, the truth, the yearning, the sadness, the hurt, the complete truth of that moment, it, in a biological chemistry way, turns into anger. When the split happens between your true self and false self, the ego, what happens is that anger is born. And because we're not living in a collective culture now for thousands of years that supports the essence, the growth of the soul that we each are, we're turned into that split into our head from a very young age. The deep inner self that's never seen, never recognized, never received, not heard, starts to build up anger. In the masculine and feminine anger paradigm, in this time period, we are facing the confusion about our sexual energies, power, and love. Our masculine energies are love, very different than what our societal thinking is, that the masculine is always the powerful and the feminine is supposed to be the love that supports that power. It's not the way it is from a soul perspective. We're going to shift that perspective a full 180. Feminine is the power, the masculine is the love. The masculine is meant to hold that big support system that creates the interconnection of harmony, growth, sustenance, and puts nurturance into action. It is the connecting force from the original creation into putting it into action. If the masculine is not connected to the feminine whatsoever, what happens is what is happening on the planet, what you see right now. Holding this globe is the separation of masculine and feminine, where the masculine has flipped the truth into thinking that the masculine separate from the feminine is power. The only way to correct this whole imbalance is to reunite the essence of our true masculine and feminine. And this is the work that I bring. It's a huge part in everything in the Spirit Gateway's 21st Century Liberation Roadmap is the reunion of the separations into oneness that we have. The transformation of the masculine anger must happen through receiving the love within inside of oneself. This is for men and women. I am addressing the masculine essence in both men and women, and I'm addressing the feminine essence in both men and women. Your masculine side has been given those messages of how it's supposed to be. In many of you, you received zero training in how to transform the essence of your masculine and feminine energies that are here to reunite as one. Your masculine anger has a lot to do with who you really are, but could not be. And the frustration of feeling disconnected and feeling as though your heart, the power within the soul heart, because your heart is the gateway to your soul. And so the masculine paradigm for both men and women has been shut down your heart. Now, when we shut down our heart, we cannot access the true source of our being. We become false self. We split off. And that makes me cry, because I don't want to see you end up and fall into a greater split. So in this Spirit Gateways Institute experience, you are learning how to move through, reunite what has been fractured and broken. And most of you will say, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that you're so used to living in separation that the stress levels are and have been increasing, are continuing to increase because of the push of the separation, to not really feel and to lose connection to that source within inside of ourselves. Your feminine anger in men and women comes from being repressed. So when the masculine power, false power, is out of balance, it has now shut the door, pushed it away, pushed the essence of the feminine away. The true feminine is your life force energy. Your feminine, both, yes, in both men and women, is that current, that power that ignites the truth within you. So both men and women are needed in these times to reconnect to the true life force energy that is a spiritual awakening. It is returning to that source that is one with life, the universe, God, all there is. The masculine and feminine have been in battle, and both parts of ourselves have been in anger. When I guide people through the awakening journey into refinding their inner masculine and their inner feminine, and yes, that happens in the one-on-one work with me and in the group mentoring, where you're part of a larger community, whether you're working in a small group, medium, or larger group. You are guided into rediscovering the divine essence, the principles, what is most important, significant, and unique for you. Your divine masculine and feminine are freed from the anger paradigm of being in separation. And when we are in relationship to another person, whether we are lovers, dear friends, marriage partners, our stuff comes up, and it can be really intense. And when you choose to stay in separation and you haven't transformed the original angers that are inside of you that happened through not being seen, heard, or received, they are projected into the relationship. And it causes huge fractures, which can lead to the breakup of a relationship. So that anger truly is the core ingredient of what breaks people up, because possibly the other person, your partner or a friend or a family member, doesn't get where you are really aligning to, what your value system is. And yes, there is the love language, but beyond that, of what is your love language, which really works, and it's really beautiful. Even deeper into that level is the reconnection of your separate selves, the reconnection of your own masculine, feminine identities, of who you've become, who you think you need to be. This is not about that. This is about really finding out. Like, think about how exciting that is to actually really live in your skin and feel your own vibration, your frequency, your own true values, and to have the vision of what your life really is, and the vision of how to really show up in your family, and to make the difference you want to make in the world, and to create and develop and grow and succeed, being the leader that you are, the business mind, the innovator, the brilliance that you are, really comes from, and the brilliance comes from the reunion with that integration of your masculine and feminine. Your feminine and your masculine are found through going through those portals of anger, grief, sadness. We awaken into the ABR, the abandonment, betrayal, and rejection of yourself that got angry. So you have to be willing to recognize what was lost, forgotten, and realize that through the emotional loss is your spiritual power. Through the intense awakening, through those trauma moments, through the realization that you have avoided your own true power, that you have avoided that spiritual feminine quality because it hasn't really fully made it into mainstream. And you see bits and pieces, and we see people making shifts, and we see individuals standing in the truth. They have found both sides of reality. The masculine and feminine represent heaven and earth. The masculine is heaven. It is the heavenly realms. It is the light that one finds through the expansion in this direction. And the feminine light, the feminine essence, creation from the earth and our body. So when we reunite the earth and spirit, which moves from the source, from the heavenly realms, that gold light that many people seek in prayer, in meditation, it's always here. And in the Spirit Gateways work, you are shown, guided, freely given the tools of how to reconnect into the source within you. Because yes, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And it doesn't matter what religion you were born into or practice. All of it is a great, great honoring. Because what's most important is that you have opened to that invisible presence within your heart and your soul. And that invisible presence is what helps transform anger. So I invite you to not accept rage, raging, anger, backbiting, blaming as a form of reality or truth. It's a bypass. It's a manipulation and it's a control to touch your weakest link. And your weakest link is that you haven't embraced to transform the anger that is in you. When I transformed my anger, it took courage. I had a lot of it. And this goes back 40 years ago. And my anger was, I could say, for real. I wasn't indulging in it. It really came from, I was not seen, I was not heard, I was not received. I was in my early childhood and throughout my life in my family of origin. It took my father, it took him well into when I was in my 40s for him to recognize the level of his misperceptions of the being that I am. And until then, there was always the expression, the pushback onto me of who I am from an angry place. And what I've learned is that when you choose to transform, like I chose that transformation, you step into the light that you are and you're living it because it's not fake. You're becoming truly you. You are transforming what has been broken into wholeness. And through that reunion in you, the anger is healed. And it's a really freeing feeling. So I invite you to come to my website, ayanalehi.com, and subscribe. It's for free. You are now part of the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village, and you will be kept up to date with all the events, and you can see the one-on-one mentoring, the group mentoring, which is tribe transformation. And in the one-on-one mentoring, you can choose between true self mentoring and beyond mentoring. And my heart is here with you. I hold the door wide open for you. If you like this video, please subscribe here and know that it supports the growth of this work. And I'm holding you in deep love. I'd love to work with you and support you in your journey into the oneness of your whole self. Holding you in love until next time. Thank you.